the wages of sin is death. So some got to die. So now without the shedding of blood, there is no remission. In the old covenant, it was the blood of the animals. In the new covenant, it is the blood of Jesus. But some got to die for your sin. Now, let's go to Exodus chapter 25, and we're going to pick it up at verse 8. First, I'm going to show you how the tabernacle was set up when the atonement was instituted. But then I'm going to show you it was pointing to something far bigger. But let's start out first by showing you how the tabernacle was set up when the atonement was instituted. Exodus chapter 25, and we'll begin at verse 8. Exodus 25, and we'll pick it up at verse 8. 25 and 8. 25 and 8. Now, this is when the Lord was giving Moses the instructions on how to set up the tabernacle. He was telling him all the stuff that need to go in the tabernacle and all of that. And, where everything was to be placed in the tabernacle and all of that. Now, start reading at verse 8. Start at verse 1. You can't go nowhere anyway. Verse 1. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel that they bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart.
Go ahead.
You shall take my offering.
Now he said, now bring me an offering, because this offering was to get the tabernacle set up. Now he's saying, let every man do it willingly according to what's within his heart. Go ahead and read on.
And this is the offering which you shall take of them, gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair, and ram skin dyed red and badger skin and shittim wood, oil for the light, spices for anointing oil and for sweet incense, onyx stones and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate.
Go ahead and read.
And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them.
Now the Lord said, let them make me a sanctuary that I might dwell among them. Go ahead and read.
According to all that I show thee after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall you make it.
Now he said, according to all that I will show you after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of the instruments, even so shall you make it. In other words, follow the pattern. I'm going to give you some instructions as to how I want it done, and this is how I want it done. Now, Moses, you follow the pattern. Go ahead and read on.
And they shall make me an ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof.
Now this ark, it was nothing but a box. And he said, make it out of shittim wood, but then he going to tell him to overlay it with gold. Because this box, it became known as the Ark of the Covenant. You heard about that. In fact, they've done movies about that, and there have been documentaries about this Ark of the Covenant, and, the Lost Ark and all of that stuff. Well, this is the ark that they be referring to right here. He said, now thou shalt overlay it with pure gold. Go ahead, I'm getting ahead of you. Go ahead and read verse 11.
And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold. Within and without shalt thou overlay it.
Go ahead.
And shalt make upon it a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof. And 2 rings shall be in the one side of it, and 2 rings in the other side of it.
Now this was done that the ark might be moved from place to place, and it had to be done in this order. You couldn't move it no other way. You couldn't say, well, a couple of you big strong guys, you grab that corner, and you grab that corner, and you grab it in the middle, and you grab it there. No, it had to be moved a certain way. In fact, a man even the Lord killed him because he didn't deal with that ark the way he was supposed to have done. You understand what I'm saying? You had to put these staves through them corners of that ark, and that was the only way it could be moved. And when you set it down, you left the staves in it. And if anybody touched it and moved it in any other manner, then God killed them. God killed them, I see. Right. Follow instructions. This God, he don't play. You understand? When he gives instructions, the best thing you can do is try to follow. Go ahead and read on.
13. And thou shalt make staves of shittim wood and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark, that the ark may be borne with them.
In other words, that the ark may be carried with them. Go ahead and read.
The staves shall be in the rings of the ark. They shall not be taken from it.
Now, you were never supposed to take the staves out. When you set it down, you just left the staves in it. Go ahead and read.
And thou shalt put into the ark the testimony which I shall give thee.
Now, you know what the testimony is? That is the Ten Commandments. Now, you say you put them commandments in that ark. Go ahead and read.
And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof.
Go ahead and read.
And thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold, of beaten work shalt thou make them in the 2 ends of the mercy seat. And make 1 cherub on the one end, and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall ye make the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof.
Now, this mercy seat, we're going to find out that really represented the throne of God. And then you had the cherubims around this mercy seat. And even when you read in Scripture about the Lord's throne, the cherubims are always there. In fact, he is called the God that sat between the cherubims.
That's right.
Go ahead and read on.
And the cherubim shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings.
Go ahead.
And their faces shall look one to another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubims be. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark. And in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee.
Go ahead and read.
And there will I meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat.
See what the Lord said? He told Moses, he said, there, Moses, before this mercy seat, there I'm going to meet with you, and there I am going to commune with you, because this mercy seat, it really represents the throne of God. Right. Lord said, Moses, that's where I'm going to meet with you, and that's where I'm going to give you the commandments from before this mercy seat. Go ahead and read on.
From between the 2 cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony of all things which I will give thee in the commandments unto the children of Israel.
See what I said? All things that I will give you in the commandments before the children of Israel. Now, let's go to Exodus chapter 26, and we'll begin reading at verse 31. Exodus 26, and we'll begin at verse 31. 26 and 31. 26 and 31. Now, this is something else the Lord told Moses to do with that tabernacle. Something else he told Moses to make and put within that tabernacle. Exodus 26, verse 31. Okay, go ahead and read.
And thou shalt make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen of cunning work. With cherubim shall it be made.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt hang it upon 4 pillars of shittim wood overlaid with gold. Their hook shall be of gold upon the 4 sockets of silver. And thou shalt hang up the veil under the taches that thou mayest bring in thither within the veil the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall divide unto you between the holy place and the most holy.
Now, when the Lord had the tabernacle set up, you know, he had a area that was called the most holy place, and then he had another area that was simply called the holy place. Now, and you had this veil that divided the holy place from the most holy place. Go ahead and read on.
34.
Go ahead and read.
And thou shalt put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most holy place.
Now, he said you had the ark of the testimony, which is, well, it was just a box with the covenant in it. And then you had, he said, now you put that in the most holy place. Go ahead and read on.
And thou shalt set the table without the veil.
Did you finish that verse?
Yes, I did. It was 34.
Now, you finished verse 34?
Yeah.
Now he said, and thou shalt put the mercy seat up on the ark and the testimony in the most holy place. So you had the mercy seat sitting here, and it sat on the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. Now, let's go to Leviticus chapter 16, and we'll begin reading that verse. Well, I need to set that up so you would understand how the tabernacle is set up. Now, show you what was done on this Day of Atonement when this Day of Atonement was instituted. So now you got the tabernacle. In the tabernacle, you got the holy place, you got the most holy place, and you got the Ark of the Covenant with the mercy seat sitting on top of the Ark of the Covenant in the most holy place. Now, the Lord is here. He is about to institute the Day of Atonement here. Leviticus chapter 16, and we'll begin reading at verse 1. Leviticus 16 and verse 1. 16 and 1. Okay, go ahead and read.
And the Lord spake unto Moses after the death of the two sons of Aaron, when they offered before the Lord and died.
Now they offered up some strange fires, the book saying the Lord killed them. Again, follow instructions, you understand? Go ahead and read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Speak unto Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place within the veil before the mercy seat.
See what it said? Now you tell him. Now Aaron was the high priest. And the Lord said, tell him, don't come at all times in here.
That's right.
You know, the priest, they had to do offerings and all of that. But he said, don't come at all times within this holy place before the veil, before the mercy seat. Don't come at all times.
That's right.
Go ahead and read on.
Which is upon the ark.
Go ahead.
That he die not. For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat.
See what he said? Within the ark, that he die not. Because if he come at all times, I'm going to kill him.
That's right.
I don't care nothing about him being the high priest. I'm going to kill him. If he come at all times within this mercy seat, he going to die. Because it's one time he can come in there, and only him can come in there. Only the high priest can come in there, and he can only do it one time in the year.
Right.
And if he come in there any other time, I'm going to kill him. Go ahead and read on.
Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering.
Now, when he came in there, he had to come in there with a sin offering. He had to come in there with a bullock and a young ram for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. Go ahead and read on.
And he shall put on the holy linen coat, and shall have the linen breeches upon his flesh, and shall be girded with a linen girdle, and with the linen mitre shall he be attired.
Go ahead and read.
These are holy garments, therefore shall he wash his flesh in water, and so put them on.
Go ahead and read.
And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goat for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering.
Now, you know, he had to offer up an offering for himself first, didn't he?
That's right.
Then he had to turn around and offer up an offering for the people as well. And notice what he said. You know, he take 2 goats. We're going to understand something about these 2 goats. Because these 2 goats was pointing to something far bigger than just 2 4-legged goats. Now, he said, and then he shall take 2 goats. Go ahead and read on.
And Aaron shall offer his bullock of the sin offering, which is for himself.
Go ahead.
And make an atonement for himself and for his house. And he shall take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron shall cast lots upon the 2 goats. 1 lot for the Lord and the other lot for the scapegoat.
Now he said he had to cast lot. In other words, he had to decide which lot would be for the Lord and which lot would be for the scapegoat. Everybody, you know, you done heard the term scapegoat, haven't you? You know what scapegoat is? That means something that's going to take the blame for something that somebody else did.
That's right.
You know, we say it all the time. You ain't going to make no scapegoat out of me. Meaning, I'm not taking the blame for something that you did. But right. God had these 2 goats, and one of these goats would be for a scapegoat. Go ahead and read on.
And Aaron shall bring the goat upon which the Lord's lot fell, and offer him for a sin offering.
Go ahead.
But the goat on which the lot failed to be the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord to make an atonement with him.
Wait a minute. Now, one goat had to be for the sin offering, right? You had 1 goat, and he was for the sin offering. And the other goat, he was for the scapegoat. Go ahead and read.
To make an atonement with him.
And he said to make an atonement with him. Now notice, you got a goat for a sin offering, then you have another goat for a scapegoat, which is for the atonement. Go ahead and read.
And to let him go for a scapegoat into the wilderness.
Now, I want you to skip down to verse 15. Verse 15. Okay, go ahead and read.
Then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering, that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkle it upon the mercy seat before the mercy seat.
Now he said, then so one of the goats had to die, right? So you had to kill one of the goats, and he was for the sin offering. You had to bring the blood in before the veil and sprinkle it up on the mercy seat. In other words, you had to take the blood before the Lord. Because then the Lord said, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to commune with you from before this mercy seat.
That's right.
So now that blood had to go before the Lord then, didn't it?
That's right.
Now skip down to verse 20. Go ahead and read.
And when he had And when he had made an end of reconciling the holy place and the tabernacle